you guys are here tonight. And we know all the hard work you guys been doing all year. So great to see all your faces. So before we begin the meeting, we are asking our colleague Shola Tijani to do the acknowledgement. This is important as we are settlers and must acknowledge the First Nations on whose land we now stand. Can we give it up for Shola?
Thank you, Kaunda. Good evening, everyone, and thank you all for joining our annual AGM. My name is Shola, and I'm one of the staff at Delta, and I'm just going to read the land acknowledgement now. We acknowledge that the land we walk on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Odonose, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit, and it's situated on the traditional territory of the Odonose, Wendat, and Anishinaabe, and is still home to many indigenous people from across Turtle Island, as well as settlers who came involuntarily and enslaved African people who were forcibly brought to this land. We honor all ancestors and are mindful of broken covenants and shall strive to make this right with the land and with each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Shola, for the land acknowledgement. So at this moment, I would like to thank our special guests who are here to confirm their attendance. We have several elected officials, MP Judo Scroll, Christine Duncan, and our local councillor, Michael Ford. Several of our funders also are here. Julia Abeson from United Way. Sorry if I say your name wrong. Chatan Barland, Audrey Spencer for MCCSS, and several of our colleagues from the City of Toronto. If I have missed anyone, I apologize for that, but you are welcome as well. Our friends and partners and many residents of our community we serve. So for the next hour and a half, sit back, have a cup of water, tea, or some chai, and we will take you to our next level of our program. But we also have entertainment for you. So sit back, relax, and soak it all in.
Give it up for Lalita.
So here's a quick overview for our agenda.
So all of us have joined our Zoom. Our office manager, Andre Gordon, is providing technical support tonight. Give it up for Andre. You should all mute all your devices unless you wish to speak. We encourage you to turn your camera on, but you can turn it off. You can turn it on if you do not like. During the meeting, only the speakers will be unmuted. But if you have questions or comments, we ask you to type it into the chat box. If you look right on the Zoom thing, you'll see on the right-hand corner, you can type any of your questions into the chat box. Voting will be done by election body. And the votes are ready. We ask everybody to start voting now because it's already out there. Only members are allowed to vote, and they have been sent on a separate link. Many have voted already, but they can also vote during the AGM. Voters can only vote once, so please do not submit your form until you have voted on all of the motions put forward. Translators are on hand and will translate for those who require it. Bharti and Amandeep are our translators for tonight.
Hello, everyone. Sorry.
Hi, Bharti.
Hello, good morning. Good evening.
Good evening. So we will now call on our president of Delta Family Resource Center, who had been with us for a few years. President of the board, Steve McCann, to begin the meeting. Everybody,
Good
welcome,
evening.
Seema.
Good evening, everyone.
Seema.
Good evening. Thank you very much for the warm welcome. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to Delta's first virtual AGM. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to show up at today's event. It's heartwarming to see that we have such an overwhelming response now. I can see there are already 79 participants on the call today. So thank you once again. Welcome to all the distinguished guests, friends, and partners. Just as a reminder, if any of you are facing any technical difficulties, please use the chat function and we will try to respond as quickly as possible. First and foremost, I would also take this time to thank all the staff and management at Delta for putting all this time to make a success of this AGM and making sure everything goes as planned. A quick reminder about voting for today as well. Members should have received their election buddy link that would allow them to vote today. We are aware that several of you have already voted, but in case you have not voted till now, a quick reminder that please do not submit till you have voted on all of your motions. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to use the chat function. We require 10 members for quorum, and I see we have a lot more than that. So I think we're good to start the AGM. Just a quick question to the members. Does anyone have any conflict of interest to flag before we begin? I take that to be a no.
I don't see any hands, so we're good.
Yeah. So moving on to the agenda, please review the agenda for today's AGM. I'll give you a minute to review before I move the motion. Okay, so I would like to now move a motion to accept the agenda for today's AGM as is.
I will second it.
Thank you, Antoniette. Okay, so all of you should have also received a copy of the minutes from the last AGM. Can you please review the minutes? Okay, I'm hoping you've had a time to review the meeting minutes from the last October AGM. I would now like to move a motion to accept the minutes of the last AGM as is.
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you, Chesley. Okay.
Hello?
Yep. I think now we can move on to the next item, which is which is the financials. Over to you, Dasha.
Good evening, members and friends. In the next little while, we will be reviewing Delta Family's financial performance in 2019 fiscal year. I would like to introduce you to our auditor, Massimo Stiliano, who's an audit partner at Clarkson Rubin. He will provide an overview of the 2019 audit as well as review statements of operations and financial position. But before we move to Massimo, I would also like to say thank you on behalf of everyone to our accountant, Mark Kovacs, who has been Delta Family's accountant for nearly 20 years. Thank you, Mark. And Massimo, please present our audit.
Massimo, you're muted.
Unmute, start video.
There we go.
Okay, hi everybody. Thank you again for having Clarkson Rubel prepare the financial statements for 2019, I guess. It seems like 20 is almost over. Thank you. Dasha, I echo your comments. Mark does a great job and gets things ready for us. It was a big jump in revenue and expenses this year, and he and Cami did and Pulada did a great job in first of all and most importantly making sure that things are spent properly and keeping control of all the backup and all the information systems. So they did a great job, and I echo your congratulations. They certainly deserve to receive those accolades for a job well done. I will review the two major statements on the financial statements. You don't have a full set of the statements, but we're going to go through the two major ones. And if you have any questions, feel free to stop me or let me know at the end, and we'll try and address them. The first statement is a statement of financial position. Thank you, Dasha. And the statement of financial position, it's also called the balance sheet. And we're looking at the organization's assets, what it owns, and the liabilities, what it owes to other people. And so we see this year the assets have gone up 964,000 from 649 a year ago. So very strong increase. So a good increase there. Liabilities have gone up as well. The big increase there is deferred, and that's money that we've received for next year's programs. So that helps us a lot with our cash flow. So that's although it's gone up, it's a good thing. So it's getting us in a good position for next year. So a strong statement of cash flow for sure. And then I'll move on to the statement of operations. So the statement of operations, also called an income statement.
Hello?
We're looking at a period of time. We're looking for a 1 year period.
I'll take a picture and send it to you after. Okay, bye.
So it's a 1 year period for 1999, and we have the 2019, sorry, and 2018 corresponding year. So we see our total revenues have gone up considerably, 2,850,000, up from 2,200. So it really shows us that Delta is a well-respected organization. The funders have really stepped up and provided some funding for additional programs. So that's good to see, and it's from many facets of and many levels of government that have really stepped up, which is good to see. City of Toronto, we see we're just under $1 million now, up 200,000 there. The province is up as well. There's about 160,000, and we see the federal government as well has gone up 150,000. So we see all fronts understanding the need for Delta and working with the community. So we see an increase there. And to fulfill those programs, of course, we need salaries and partners to get that done. and your management team really, when there's that much growth, you have to be very careful that you don't lose the reins and things get out of hand. And your management team did very well. So they came in at pretty much a balanced budget. The expenses have gone up, but they managed to keep it with a small surplus of $10,000. The salaries are the big expense that have gone up. So to fulfill the programs, we need people, as well as the purchase services. So some contractors that help fill the program services. So a very good year. Congratulations to management. Congratulations to the board for their guidance and helping Kemi and staff, weather the increase in revenue. So continued success, and I hope we see the same increase next year, Kemi. Good luck. Well done. Back to you, Dasha.
Okay, thank you, Massimo. So now I would like to move a motion to accept the 2019 audited statement as presented with secondary share, Randy. So members, if you haven't yet voted, please use election body to note your vote. But as a reminder, do not submit until the very end. And I would like to move forward a second motion that Clarkson Rubel be appointed as auditor for 2020 fiscal year. Again, members, if you haven't yet voted, please use election body to note your vote, but please do not submit until the very end. Thank you.
Sounds like a good time for entertainment.
So thank you, Dasha, and congratulations to Delta on a great financial year. It's now time for some entertainment, like you said. We call on Nathan. He's going to be doing a performance. Everybody give it up for Nathan. Is Nathan on?
I haven't heard him. I'll message him, but in the meantime, maybe we could go on to the storyteller. Anna should be here.
We have Anna. We're going to move on to our storyteller. Anna Wees.
Do you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you, Anna.
You don't see any buttons. I don't see button to unmute me.
No, you're unmuted. You're unmuted.
Do you want to see me? Okay.
No, I can't. We're waiting for you.
We could see you.
Yeah, we can see you.
Oh, hi everybody. So I promised to Shola I will take one of my stories that I did not tell. So that just finished. So this one I will.
You're on now. So
Seriously, I didn't.
Nathan isn't available right now, so I think we should move on.
Yeah, so we're going to move on to Anna.
Yes, that's me.
Yes.
Okay, Anna, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. I will tell you the story that I tell all 3 days of our festival. So it's nice. I spared it for you. And everybody who have been with us 3 days before, I will tell it today. It's probably many of you first time will be hearing to it. The next story is senior shop. This cranky lady was happily married for many, many, many. When she was young, she was very and her husband fell in love of her insights and her behavior, but because of her look. Many men are doing it. And he was very, very good husband all those years. He believed in a statement that we marry for good or for bad. And even so, she didn't behave herself very good. He was trying to change her and he stuck to her for many, many, many years. But this lady did not behave. She was running around, she was rude. And this time she was caught in a supermarket stealing. So a security guard caught her and invited manager. She gave very hard time to manager, to security guard, and she was so misbehaved and screaming and insulting everybody, blaming the whole world, that eventually they invited a police officer. Police officer told her, okay, he checked on a computer. She did it not the first time in her life. She had quite a few records with the police. So police told her, okay, this time you will be showing up at the court. You will stay before the judge. So at certain day, she came to the court and she's sitting and other people came sitting, listening to her, and the judge is asking her, so what did you do? Oh, Your Honor, you know, why do you ask? Well, I know you stole some food. Yes, I did. Why did you steal it? Because I was hungry and didn't have money, you old fool. And the judge tells her, and what in the world did you steal? And she tells him, all I stole is a can of peaches. So did you eat those peaches? Yes, I ate it, you old fool, and I enjoyed them. Now the judge is asking her, okay, can you please tell me, when you was eating those peaches, did you notice how many pieces of peaches were in this can? And she says, yes, why do you asking, you old fool? And you think I cannot count? I am still in my mind. Yes, I can count. It was 9 pieces. And the judge tells her, okay, this is my decision. For every single piece of peach that you stole in this can, you will have 1 day in jail. So, because you stole 9 pieces of peach and you ate them all, you will have 9 days in jail. And he just about to lower his gavel, it's called, not hammer, gavel, right? Just about to lower it and make a knocking sound, somebody in the audience raised his hand. And the judge sees this man raising his hand and he's asking, yes, my dear, do you want to ask something or add something? Who are you? And the man stand up and say, I am the husband of this lady. And Your Honor, can you please take into consideration that my wife also stole 2 cans of peas. In other words, she will be going to jail, he will be count all peas in 2 cans of peas, and instead of 9 days in jail, she will be going much longer, because how many peas in 2 cans? Did you get it, guys? Along with 1 Did you understand it? He raised his hand and say, my wife, instead of stealing this can of 9 peaches, she also stole 2 cans of peas. Did everybody get it?
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Anna, you are always awesome.
You're slow today. Thank you. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Anna.
Yeah.
Thanks, Anna.
Thank you, Anna.
Can we also give it up for her drip? I love her fashion too. It was amazing.
Yeah.
She's always great. She's always like this. Yeah, great.
Good. So I think we probably should move on.
So
to the
next up, we have another a singer gonna come up next. Kahanda, can you introduce the name of the singer?
His name is Travis. He's called it Toronto Night. He's about to bring some beautiful R&B to you. When a young person from the Lawrence Heights neighborhood, good kid, and he has a beautiful voice. So let's, get some water, get a drink, and he's about to come on and serenade y'all.
Thank you.
Let's hear it for Travis.
Let's
Take
give
it
it up.
on.
Let's get some snaps for Travis. Let's go.
You get it all.
Travis, you on?
Travis is here. He's just muted, Travis, by the way.
Hi. Hey, everybody.
Hi, Travis.
So today I'm going to be singing a cover of one of my favorite songs by Daniel Caesar. It's called Japanese Denim. So without further ado, let's get started. I don't wait in line, I don't pay for clothes, forget that. Yeah. But I'll wait for you. Oh, yeah. I don't like to think, I don't like to drink, forget that. Oh, but I'll ponder you. I'm mending it over my 4-leaf clover. I'm so in love, so in love. There's no one I put up above. Forever's a long time, yes. My blue jeans will last me all. Oh, should we? Yeah. I'm spending all my time. I met you at the shop, summer's getting hot, I'm lonely. Yeah, yeah, in the city on my own. Never thought you'd be the one that I'd find a home with. Yeah, but that's just how it goes. I'm reaching nirvana. Goodbye, sweet Rwanda. High school was never free. You said, let it be, yeah. Forever's a long time, yes. My blue jeans will last me all my life. So should we? Yeah. I'm spending all my time. You don't even know me. You don't even know me. Yeah. I'm hanging on the tree. I'm hanging on the tree. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 baby. Ooh, 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 yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you.
Woo, 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 encore, encore.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Amazing, man. That's real talent right there. I'm a fan. Even though I'm your friend, I'm still a fan.
Thank you,
Let's
brother.
give a
Thank
big
you.
up for Anna and Travis at this time. Thank
Right
you
on,
guys for
Travis.
sharing your talent with us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Nice voice.
Thank you.
Very
Thank
beautiful
you.
voice.
Very nice voice.
Thank you.
So we'll move into the next part of our agenda this afternoon. And at this time, I will call on our keynote speaker, Sheila Prescott, who is from Black Creek Community Health Center. She works in they're in the Jane and Finch location, and as well as Jane and Wilson. So she is this ED of the organization of Black Creek Community Health Center. Let's give it up for Cheryl.
Am I off mute? Hold on, I'm getting there. Okay, hi there, just trying to share my screen. Let's see, nothing works when you want it to work. Okay, from the beginning. Can people see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kemi, and your team for this invitation to speak to you this evening, and congratulations on your AGM. It's a pleasure to speak to folks that I know that Black Creek Community Health Center has had a long relationship with. I know that we all have the same values, and we're working together, to serve clients in the best way we can. So since the beginning of COVID, I know that we've also been standing beside each other and trying to address some of the inequities in the communities that we serve. So tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about our COVID response and how we've been working together as agencies in this northwest part of Toronto and Hummer Summit to address some of the inequities actually that we're seeing. So I'm going to start by introducing a new word to everyone. Everyone talks about COVID as a pandemic, but as we learn more and more about this disease and how it's impacting, especially people in vulnerable communities that are vulnerable, a new term that I've learned actually is syndemic. That means that not only is a clinical disease there, but it's presenting itself in a worse way in populations where we have, sort of social determinants of health, where people have barriers to healthcare. So a lot of those people already are not well. They're dealing with issues like diabetes and other conditions that makes them more susceptible to COVID infection and worse outcomes. They're the ones who are actually dying and going into the hospital. Others are able to battle this disease a little better. And there's been a lot of scientific articles about this, talking about how vulnerable our older citizens are, people from racialized communities, Blacks, Asians, and other minority communities. There's been lots of work about people who are working in jobs where they're not able to get the paid time off when they're sick. They have to go to work, they have to travel to work. So we have to think about not only the clinical and medical condition, we have to talk about those social issues as well. And, there's no matter what happens when we have a vaccine or treatment, we really have to think about the social issues as well. So In this article, it talks about the government has to devise plans and policies to reverse all of those disparities, those inequities that make a lot of our people in our these communities sicker than in other communities. So it's really important that as we look at the response to COVID, that we have to use the information that's out there, the data, and to help us think of the strategies that are needed to keep our communities safe. And you know, there's lots of data out there now that the city is collecting that is now labeling certain neighborhoods as hotspots. And unfortunately, we are serving those neighborhoods, and we need to figure out how to advocate for those strategies to minimize the spread of COVID, and also help folks who might, you know, have those worse health outcomes deal with these challenges a little better. So I can't talk about COVID without reminding people about, you know, what we know so far. We know that this disease is being spread by droplets that come out of our mouth when we talk, when we sing, when we cough, when we sneeze, and that these droplets, it's been found, travel about 6 feet. They can travel about 6 feet, hence why we have those social distancing measures put in place of staying 6 feet apart, as well as the fact that mask coverings is what will protect us, both ourselves from receiving any of these droplets, but also from transmitting it to others. Hence why we have these measures that have been put in place to protect everybody. It's not just about me, it's about the persons that I'm interacting with, my family members, my coworkers, friends. So just a reminder of that. The other thing, the reason these measures are also put in place, it's also to flatten that curve. I know you've all heard about the flattening of the curve. And the reason we want to flatten the curve is so that we don't overwhelm our healthcare system. So in this red curve, you'll see what happens is if we did nothing, if we let the disease infect as many people as possible, we would have a really high curve and it may last not as long. But what it will do, it will overwhelm our healthcare system. And this is what happened in some of the countries like Italy, and what we saw where there were a lot of deaths very early in the pandemic. And it's also what might explain what happened in long-term care homes. It's because we saw a lot of people that were vulnerable in close spaces, and you know, they weren't able to maintain that physical distance, or they weren't given the PPE and the material, the measures, safety measures to protect them. So they had a high curve, and we had deaths. Whereas with the safety measures, the hope is that we will keep that curve as flat as possible, and our healthcare system, people will get sick, some will die, but at least we'll be able to manage it a little better in our system. So that was just to help you understand a little bit about why. Now, let's look at our area. So on these maps, the first one being at the beginning of the wave, and then the peak of the wave in about April to July. And then our second wave, which after the summer, we started to see something different, and which is we're calling wave 2. And now this is the most recent. Now, the darker the color, the blue, is the higher number of cases in those areas. And I'll point you to please look at the top northwest, which is the northwest corner, including Jane and Finch and Rexdale up at the top. So you could see that we had a high number of cases at the peak of wave 1. Just to sort of go back to the beginning. At the beginning, we saw a different pattern. And it was because most of the cases that we saw in the city were from people who came from outside of the country. There were people who traveled, and the disease came in from other countries. So the screening, if you remember, was, have you traveled in the last 2 weeks? That's what we asked, the question that was asked. What happened? Once the virus was in our city, in our province, in our country, the spread started in the communities. And unfortunately, what happened is in those communities where we know that there are people that are living in different circumstances, we started seeing a high number of cases in those places. Of course, in those other areas, the dark blue, the number of cases were still fairly high, but they were less high. What was really evident was the higher number of cases were in these communities. And again, we're seeing the same pattern emerging with the second wave. So, and the cities collected data, and this data shows us clearly that there's a disparity. There's a disproportionate number of people in low income. So if you make less than $50,000 a year, that's your income. You had, the green is the number of people represented in those populations. So about, let's look at both bars, 0 to 20, 30,000, 30,000 to 50,000 make up about 30% of our population. But the number of people infected with the virus is over 52%. Yes. If you make more than 150,000 and in higher income areas, while 21% of our population is represented by that population, only 6% of those people were tested positive for the virus. So I hope you can see the disproportionate impact of people who are in low income compared to people who are in high income. And similarly, we see the same disproportionality in ethnic groups, ethno-racial groups. If you are white, in the white population that makes up 48% of the City of Toronto's population, only 17% of that population is infected with the virus, whereas in racialized communities, the Black population, Arab, Middle Eastern, Latin American, and some others, you see, while, for example, the Black community makes up 9% of the city's population, there is a 21% positivity rate in the Black community. So again, and if you look at wherever the dark bar is above the green bar, means that there's a disproportionate, based on the population base, there's a disproportionate positivity for the virus in these communities. So Arab, Middle Eastern, Black, Latin American, Latinx, South Asian, Southeast Asian. If you're below, if the black bar is below, that means lesser of that population is contracting the virus. Okay. As we look at this data, we are saying that we are also seeing that the testing rates in these neighborhoods is also lower. So the positivity rates are high. They're about 3 to 5% higher than the rest of the city. When we reach 3% positivity, it's a danger sign. That's when the officials start thinking about closing things down. We are from 4 to 20% in this area. However, in the testing rates are much lower. So the lighter the bars the lighter the shade of blue means that we have less testing in these communities. So even as we look at the responses, why is it that we have lower testing rates in these areas compared to the rest of the city? So basically, again, just to reiterate that for our responses based on the data and based on what we're seeing, we really need, it's important and imperative that we have local responses. We need to have education and outreach within our communities. We have to test more where it's needed, and we have to offer people wraparound services. So I know we've been hearing a lot about testing, and the answer is not only about testing. It's about all of these together. It's about ensuring that people have the right information. It's about people knowing where they can have services, because we do know that the people that are most impacted, their lives have been turned upside down. And it's how do we shift the resources to communities that and ensure that that decision making is local and the work is being done collaboratively within our communities. And because really the secret of stopping that spread for all of us to ensure that everybody's okay is, again, just repeating this, information, access to testing, and supports. So supports to isolate, support for accessing healthcare. And that's when we will ensure that we manage the outbreak and we continue to maintain the surveillance around with respect to this virus. And this is something we've been doing. We've been working, again, collaboratively with other agencies within the clusters, whether it's Black Creek or Humber Summit, and Delta is part of those clusters. We've been early responses has been, delivering food for folks, and through that and checking in with folks, and through doing that from the community, we were able to identify where people are struggling, where there's some issues that issues that need to be addressed. And again, that is the only way that we can really contain and slow the spread. We may not be able to stop it right now, but we have to slow it. And just wanted to conclude, because I know this has to be short, that a pandemic response responds to the clinical and medical needs of people. However, as I said earlier, this endemic approach, which is the intersection of the disease with other social determinants and other issues, means that we have to go beyond the clinical, and we have to include our community in response. And it is only then that we would be able to ensure that not only are we safe, but we take care of everyone, those around us. And I think that's it. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. I wasn't sure, I knew I had to make this short. So, and there's so much to say about COVID. So thank you for listening, and I hope that covered what people wanted to know.
Thank you very much, Cheryl. That was very informative. So we can see that the Black Creek CHC has been extremely busy supporting vulnerable, racialized clients. We agree that systematic changes are necessary in our communities and are not to always end up being disproportionately affected by crises such as these. We now have our elections and a change to the bylaws to authorize virtual meetings. Our Vice President, Shire Brandy, will lead this segment of the meeting. Let's give it up for Shire.
We will skip Mr. Brandy for now, and we will move on to participant presentation. So we're having a participant from FRP to talk about the program and how it's impacted their life. And also we'll have a participant from the senior program, who is Viola Ramadan, and she's the seniors, and Parika from Sharma, she's from the FRP Children Program. So let's welcome both participants at this time. And also at this time, I would like to take Dr. Cheryl for all the information she has given us a wealth of knowledge this evening about COVID.
Thank you.
So,
just I want to say something. Lolita, the name is Rawana. Rawana, how it's spelled. Sorry.
Okay, Viola, you're going to go first?
Okay.
All right. Unmute Viola, please.
I came to Delta after hearing about Delta program. I was at a senior group meeting at one time, and I heard people talking about Delta program for seniors. I was asking, where can I get more programs that I needed to get involved? So I was given the address, and I went to Delta Resource Center and met a very nice young man, JT. And he offered me tea and coffee, and I told him what I was looking for. I'm looking for some senior program. And he said to me, wait, he's going to get somebody to talk to me. So upon his return with someone to talk to me, the Delta was very, very, I found a program that fits me. It's a senior program where I was involved in the food pantry. And then I get involved with a knitting group, and I was assisting knitting a bit. Then there came around the storytelling program, which I was very enthusiastic. And this program, I became an ambassador telling stories and listening to people telling stories. There are fairy tales, humorous stories, folk tales, and many true life stories. I enjoy this program very, very much. I enjoy them, all the programs and the events that I was in. I volunteer quite a bit. And that would help me a lot in my everyday life, that coming together with meeting people in the community and sharing different ideas. Sometimes we share cooking and more different ideas about sewing and that sort of stuff. Coming back to the senior storytelling, I have gained a lot. I learn a lot. And there's a skill that I didn't know that I had. Shola Tajani bring me out so much, and she taught me quite a few things about storytelling. She would get people, presenters to come in and present to us how to tell stories. This enriched my life, and it makes me a better person. And now I can tell stories. And thank you, Shola, for being there. She's an awesome person. And to the senior group, she makes sure, with this COVID going on, she made sure that the seniors get things that they needed. And she would call and she would ask, "Are you okay? Is everything okay? Do you need anything?" And many of us would respond. And for me, she is an awesome person. I don't think we can get somebody like her again in my life. Thank you, Shola, for being there.
Thank you, Viola, for your story. I met Viola at Delta Family Center through the senior program. She's an amazing person. She told you she discovered one talent, but Viola also knit. She and the seniors also knit children blankets for the community as well. They do a lot of knitting and cooking and eating when they're there. So if you get to know Viola, she's really an amazing person.
Shola is a very resourceful person. She would go herself, and without us helping her, she would bring all these things to us and share it around, and we will help her. And I think that's what the community is about, and the senior program is wonderful. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you again, Viola. So next we're gonna have our participant from FRP to join us.
Hello.
Priyanka Sharma.
I have the AGM link, so I can just log in.
I don't know if she's...
I can email it to you. Thank you. Who can
Priyanka, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, there she is. Thank you.
Hi. Good evening, everybody. Good evening to all. Can you all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So it's very nice meeting you all after such a long time, and hope all of you are doing great in this COVID times. And first of all, I would like to thank all of you to allow me to speak on this webinar, which is so important for all of us. So as we all know that COVID has changed a lot in our lives, right? It's always pleasure to meet everybody when we meet in person. But this is the new normal, nothing can be done. This is the time when it's pleasure when we all meet together, sit together. But now we all are meeting virtually. Till the time we are meeting, we are able to express our views, express our messages. Does not matter we are meeting virtually or we're meeting person to person. So my topic is today, like when how Delta classes has really impacted the life of my child and all the mothers and the children who used to come there. There are trust me, when I came to know about the Delta classes, my experience to those classes was really wonderful. Not only mine, but all the teachers, all the parents, the kids used to come there. They used to love it. The kind of environment the teacher used to provide there was so positive that I would like to mention few teachers' name who I used to be in contact with, and which my child and other children used to like the most. Like I would like to mention Nazi, Yolanda, Lalita, and we have Seema, Cameron, Virginia. All these teachers were wonderful. They were all so humble in helping all the child in learning in every possible manner. And there were a few other programs also which caught my attention and other mothers' attention. The first was the parent relief program, which was so nice that that program has helped all the kids who were ready to go to school. That program has helped them in a very long way. The other program which I would like to recommend, which all of us liked a lot, were the program which were designed for the special need kids. We all know that kids with special need extra attention. They used to come in all the classes, but special they were assigned to them, where they could learn in their manner, where all the teachers could only concentrate on them so that they can learn and grow in their space. And the other program which we all liked were the program which were there for the small kids, for the newborn babies, for the would-be mothers, and on the food eating habits which we have for our kids. Like many of our kids don't like to eat something good. They all like to eat junk food. There were programs designed by the dietitian that what is good for our kids and what is not good for our kids. Those programs has also helped us a lot. So trust me, so many programs just to help the kid to grow in a proper way was really, really commendable. And I just hope that these programs should keep continuing and should always be there to help each and every child in every possible way. Thank you so much of all the Delta teachers. Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you, Lalita, Cameron, Virginia, Seema, everybody. Nazi, thank you very, very much for helping all our kids. Back to you, teachers.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
For those great feedback, Priyanka. So I would like to introduce our newest program to Delta, Family Resource Center, which is Oz, or also known as Panpanzi. So I would like to introduce Ken and Frida at this moment to take it over.
Hello, everyone. My name is Frida. I'm a youth justice worker with the Ounce Prevention Program. I'll let Ken go first in regards to talking about the program.
Hi, everybody. Yes, I'm not sure how many people are familiar with the program, but it's called, as Lalita said, it's called Ounce of Prevention. Actually, it's called Pimpanzi, but we've kind of rebranded it to call it Ounce of Prevention, in shortened case, just Oz. And this program is in sort of like a response to the overrepresentation of Black and racialized youth in the criminal justice system. We offer a trauma-informed, culturally relevant, Afrocentric type program for Black youths and their families, ages 15 to 29, that are impacted by the criminal justice system. This program also has a partnership with other social services agencies such as FYI, for Youth Initiative, Somali Women and Children, Think Twice, and Urban Res. So they are our partners, and they help us deliver programs in different parts of the city. For instance, Think Twice, they're helping us in institutions. Some of the services that we provide are not limited to is helping young people when they're navigating the court system. We also provide family counseling services. We have on board, we have 2 family counselors. Also, we talk a lot about identity and culture and anger with our young people. and other topics that the courts have identified that could be beneficial for them. Also, because of COVID, we've been impacted to some degree, but the program is still running. It hasn't slowed down actually. We received quite a lot of referrals, predominantly from the court system and from CAS and also from lawyers. Currently, we have an office space at 2141 Kipling, but because of COVID, we're not really meeting clients face to face at this time, but we do plan to, we do still deliver services virtually, as Frida is going to talk a little bit about. And finally, I can just say that the program is, the workers are very dedicated and they're very knowledgeable, and without them, this program is nothing. So I just want to say a big thank you to all the workers in Oz. They're very dedicated. I mean, the knowledge there is just incredible. So I'm really, really grateful to every single one of the workers that show up to every day to work in this program. So I'll pass on to Frida right now, who's one of our wonderful workers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. So our program is doing very well, and we are able to support our clients via Zoom and or over the phone. So I actually have a testimony that I'm going to read from one of my clients, who's very grateful to be able to speak with me on a weekly to bi-weekly basis, and just kind of vent when she needs to, but also I'm also there to kind of, bridge any gaps in services that she may need. So I'm just going to start off by reading that. Before this program, I struggled with a lot on my own. I really thought I could do it all on my own. I actually thought that trying to heal was something a person does on their own, but it's not. In order to heal, you have to be able to critique yourself and take accountability for your actions. The things you allowed / believed to be okay or knew it wasn't okay, but still allow it to continue. I had to accept those things first before I could fully allow somebody in to talk and help me. Speaking to Frida weekly and bi-weekly and being asked questions and listening to her advise me and try to help me find myself again really opened my eyes and my mind. She gave me the freedom to speak without judging me. She advised me. It felt more like I was talking to somebody I knew more than someone I never met before. I like that. I love how open the program is. It really helps me. The biggest thing I realized that I wasn't doing was allowing myself to grow. It's something I always struggled with, especially now as a young adult, finding her own independence and still dealing with trauma from past and current events. The mistake I continue to make, sometimes I forget that I'm human and that it's okay. We mess up sometimes. We do things that hurt others and sometimes ourselves. We cry, laugh, scream, and yell when we're all overwhelmed. I move like the world is against me, but the only person that's holding myself back is me. It's always been me. I wouldn't have come to this realization if it wasn't for talking to Frida and finally slowly letting go of the things I allow and continue to allow to hold me back. So thank you. That was from one of my clients. I thought it was just really well written, and just, she's come a long way since meeting with her via Zoom back in April. So it's been through this whole pandemic. So I never actually got to meet her in person. So that's the funny part of all this, all over Zoom and over the phone. So I'm very thankful to be part of this program and this agency, and grateful that we can support the clients during this difficult time. So thank you.
Thank you, Frida. Thank you, Ken. So at this time, we'll call on our president again, C. McCann, and our ED for Delta family, Cami Jacobs.
Can I just interrupt just a second before we do that? We wanted
Sure,
to
no problem.
Thanks. We actually wanted to have the SNAP program that's not here do a presentation.
Okay.
Andre has that, so he's going to be doing that.
Okay. Okay, so we have a presentation from one of our other program. So whilst we're waiting to see the presentation, I'll take this opportunity to introduce our children program, which is our FRP program, our resource program for children and family that run.
everyone, it's Michelle from Snap.
This is Marvin Samuel.
Hello, this is Anika from the SNAP program.
Hi guys, this is Mr. Michael from Snap.
Hi friends, it's Miss Abigail from the SNAP program. From Miss Anika, Miss Michelle, Mr. Marvin, Mr. Michael, and Miss Farah, we would like to say that we miss you guys and we hope you're staying safe. Now I know you might be feeling frustrated, upset, sad, or bored, and your body might be shaking or tense or hot or maybe even crying. And you might have some hard thoughts like, why can't we go outside? And why can't I see my friends? And when can we go to the SNAP group again? These are really great questions. That would tell you it's time to use your SNAP. First, think of a stop that will help keep you calm, like take deep breaths, count to 10, or go for a walk. Then come up with a cool thought that is helpful and realistic, like, I can do this, and I want to stay safe and healthy, and I should follow the rules. Then pick a plan that will keep your problems small, like find a quiet activity that you can do, ask someone for help, and remember to always wash your hands. Once you use your SNAP, you will help keep yourself calm and keep your problems small. We hope to speak to you guys soon.
Thank you, SNAP. So as I was saying before, I'll introduce a few of our other program, the FRP, the seniors, and you already have, we have after school program as well. We have a lot of virtual program right now to Saturday online. So parents, please take the opportunity to join us. And thank you. So our president, C. McCann, and our AD for Delta Fam, Cami Jacob, will join us.
Sorry, I hate to quickly interrupt. We did also have a video we wanted to show from Oz. We wanted to show as well, if you guys had the time.
Oh, go ahead. I thought that Oz was finished.
Oh no, there was just a video we also wanted to show. So yeah.
Okay, no problem.
We envision a Toronto where the future success of Black and racialized youth is not determined by contact with the criminal justice system. The Delta Family Resource Center, in partnership with For Youth Initiative, Somali Women and Children, Think Twice, and Urban Resolutions, present to you the Ounce Prevention Program. The Ounce of Prevention is an exciting new Afrocentric, wraparound holistic approach that places the youth and their families at the core of its programming. We provide a wide range of free counseling and support services. Our programming includes individual and family counseling, navigating the justice system in court after and during incarceration, enhancing identity and culture, anger and aggression, masculinity, violence and respect, healing through the creative arts, healthy relationship building, strengths and coping skills, radical healing, as well as connections to other additional supports and services. Our team consists of youth justice workers who work with youth in their communities, pre-release workers who support youth inside the institutions, reintegration workers who work with youth coming out of the institutions, and counselors who work with youth and their families. Our practitioners provide support and leverage their expertise in navigating the criminal justice and public education systems. And remember, our services are free of charge for youth and their families. If you or someone you know are in need of support or more information, please contact us.
Give it up for this. Give it up for.
Thank you, Frida. The picture tells the whole story, more than words could express. As the saying said, picture worth 1,000 word. So we have two beautiful video from two of our program at Delta Family. So now we have an entertainment for you, for everybody, and let's give it up for Nathan. Is Nathan in the house?
Yes, I'm here.
Nathan, the man of the hour.
Nathan, let's.
Yes. Just give me 1 second. Would you mind? Okay. How's everybody doing? Sorry for being late in the beginning.
Get something for yourself?
Huh?
Girl, one of my people didn't show.
I'm just gonna play an instrumental in the background. Let me know if you guys can hear it. Can you guys hear me properly?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 second. I'm just loading up the instrumental. There's like 100 people on this. I feel like it's a sold out concert.
COVID concert.
There's attendees. This is more than a conference, man. This is a big concert tonight for Delta.
No, this is it's more than a concert. This is like more than a concert. I'm out of words. Okay. Can you guys hear that?
Not really.
Loud and clear.
Okay.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna do it a cappella because I feel like. Okay, cool. I'll just do it a cappella because I feel like it might be hard to hear. So I've been in dad mode all COVID because of course working from home dealing with baby. So I only got daddy poems today. I'm just gonna knock out a few and then let you guys get back to what you do. Okay. They always told me I was blind, so how could I see my full potential? They must have been out of their mind. I went from unorganized to an organization, from irresponsible to responsible for a child. My legacy used to lie in my hands until I created hands, legs that would oversee my legacy. I'm trying to be known overseas so you can see more than your pop scene, but I'm taking too much credit. I can never make something so beautiful on my own. God made you. I was just a witness, and 50% of me was invested in creating you. Now I'm all in raising you. How do I do it? Even when my father was in the house, I was the man of the house. He got sick. My mom never switched, so I never had a stepfather. It was difficult, but I see how those times helped me step up and be a father to my daughter, because I had to be there for my baby sis. There ain't a trip I miss. If I could adopt every father's child, I would show them the love they deserve. Their name in my heart is reserved. One. So that was the first piece. It's a single I made called Blind. And yeah, I'll just get into the second one. At 21, I became a father. At 22, I got my daughter out of metro housing. I used to go from my mother's house to her grandmother's house after work around 3. I'll bring that back. Hold on. Wi-Fi stripping me out. Okay, cool. So this is the final one to close. At 21, I became a father. At 22, I got my daughter out of metro housing. I used to go from my mother's house to her grandmother's house after work around 6. After a long shift, had to get a gram before I got you out your grandma. Used to feel like a visitor because I had to leave by 3. Now I work 3 jobs, so we stay afloat, hoping my flow gets me money like Steve Jobs. So my only job is to praise God for the blessing. From housing to renting to owning, from locally known to globally, glowing over my life. That's the only thing I'm condoning. And in this moment, remember who brought you lyrics that were potent. Remember who brought you the mic. Take a journey with I on this journey called life. Thank you guys for taking the time to yeah. I only got daddy rhymes in my head. I've been cleaning diapers all COVID. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys tonight. You guys continue to have an amazing event, 100 people, sold out concert. Delta, you're amazing, and thank you for all that you do.
Keep up, Nathan.
Thank you.
Keep it up.
Ooh, all the applause is coming in, Nathan.
I know. I feel like I'm at a concert right now. I feel like
I think you should say another one for us.
Another one?
Yeah.
Well, I got time like that?
Everybody want to hear another one? Let's give it up for Nathan.
Yes.
Nathan in the house.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Someone said in my Khaled voice, another one.
You're famous now.
First audience, 100 people plus.
Okay. Why don't
Big audience tonight.
Okay. I'm just gonna try to do it with the song in the background because my head is just kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you guys hear it? We can hear it. Can you guys hear that beat?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Come on. Yeah, they always told me I was blind, so how could I see my full potential? They must have been out of their mind. I went from unorganized to an organization, from irresponsible to responsible for a child. My legacy used to lie in my hands until I created hands, legs that would oversee my legacy. I'm trying to be known overseas so you can see more than your pot seen, but I'm taking too much credit. I could never make something so beautiful on my own. God made you. I was just a witness, and 50% of me was invested in creating you. Now I'm all in raising you. How do I do it? Even when my father was in the house, I was the man at the house. He got sick. My mom never switched, so I never had a stepfather. It was difficult, but I see how those times helped me step up and be a father to my daughter. Cause I had to be there for my baby sis during the trip I missed. If I could adopt every fatherless child, I would show them the love they deserve. Their name in my heart is reserved. One. My hands, my eyes. Yes.
Awesome.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Give it up for Nathan.
Good for the
Give
music
it up for
on.
Nathan, everybody.
Bravo.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Nathan.
No problem.
Bravo. 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 Bravo.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, once again, we'll try to get C. McCann and Cami Jacob
I promise.
to the front of the audience.
I promise.
Welcome.
I promise we're not running away, but basically we haven't had a chance to show the annual report. So I'm going to ask Andre. We have a digital annual report for the first time ever. So and a student who works with us, Renee, Wave Renee, did it from scratch. So well, let me show you. Andre's going to show you, and you can pick her up after. And after, our treasurer isn't here, so we're going to have another board member present the elections and the bylaw changes. So we have the annual report. Then we have a story, and Shola will tell us who will be telling the story. And then we will have the elections, and then Seema and I will come on. Sorry for the slight change.
Little bit change in the agenda. Sorry.
All right, guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just going to share our annual report. If you guys can see it now. So this is our all digital annual report made from scratch from Renee. Please give her a round of applause. She did not see this coming, but she totally deserves it. It was completely like, we had the idea of doing one, but none of us knew how to make it. And then she's like, I can. And then she made this whole web page for us. So there's pictures here from Snap and other programs. Our Delta mission, vision, and strategic directions, and more information there. All this is available as well. We're going to have a link to our website as well, so we can show you all of that. We have some YouTube videos from our YouTube page, some more pictures, a message from Kemi and Seema, our board president and executive director. Again, all of this will be available for you to completely read here on our website. We have a statement about, because 2019/2020, or going into 2020, really was a lot about COVID-19, as we know, and supporting our clients during this time. So we had a statement about that. Financial report really is just a pie chart based on the two statements you just saw earlier in the presentation in our AGM. Some special thanks, some quick stats. Here's a list of our partners, people we've worked with, people we've interacted with, funders, as well as our partnerships and donations, people have donated to us. And then a list of our staff, everyone who's helped us. Not an exhaustive list, but obviously there's more. Just some quick statements from our programs about this year, how it went and everything. And then some slideshows about community engagement, our youth program, that sort of thing. All of this is going to be available right after. And actually, if you go to deltafamilyreport2020.com on your phones or on your on your mobile devices or desktops, it all should be there now, live. We have some testimonials from the OZ programs, our seniors programs as well, and more information here. So yeah, Renee made all this from scratch on a whim. Renee is awesome. Everyone say thank you, Renee. And yeah, that is our annual report.
Thank you, Andre.
And Antoinette has agreed to present the slate and the bylaw change.
I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. I don't know about anybody else, but I've thoroughly enjoyed the entertainment that we've had. And I've enjoyed the storytelling, which I've been tuning into when I can this past week. We'll start off with the elections. You would have received information regarding 2 of the positions in the board of directors that will be, that have come up, and that is Donna Jones-Simmons and Seema Khanna. We'd like to put a motion out there to accept the slate as we've presented this evening. Do we have any objections? Okay, I haven't heard any objections, so if somebody could second this motion. Dasha, Dasha, are you still on? Perhaps you could second this?
Yep.
Thank you, Dasha. And so welcome back, Donna and Seema. You have agreed to stay on board with us, and you've been doing a great job, and we do appreciate everything that you put into it and are very pleased that you're staying with us. Thank you so much. All right, the next thing is we had to, because of the pandemic or syndemic, as Cheryl pointed out to us, we have a new word to learn. We've had to review things the way we normally do in all aspects of our life. And one of the things is the fact that as you've seen tonight, we're having virtual AGMs. We've had to have our virtual board meetings as well. So we've had to incorporate that into the changes with regards to the way our board meets. And so our preference obviously would be to have all in-person meetings. When that's not possible, such as during the pandemic, we have inserted a paragraph that will allow us to have virtual meetings be accepted as part of our new procedures. The virtual meetings, I'll just read it to you quickly. It's virtual meetings and participation via telephone and other electronic means. As organizations are increasingly having virtual meetings, if a majority of the directors consent, some meetings of members and of the board may generally be held virtually. Voting at virtual meetings will be done by a system endorsed by the board. For example, polling or a separate voting application. For example, this evening we used the election buddy so that we could do the voting for the AGM. Something similar to that could be done within our board meetings, or it could be just a simple show of hands, which will allow results to be tabulated during the course of the meeting. Members will be advised of the process at the beginning of the meeting. The board is expected to meet in person at least 4 times annually, unless extraordinary conditions, such as the pandemic, make it inadvisable to do so. The board may also meet virtually. A director participating in a virtual meeting is deemed to be present at the meeting if that person is present for the duration of the meeting. A director attending a meeting for part of the meeting is not deemed to be present unless there is a documented approval of the acceptance of a limited presence at that particular meeting in the official meetings of that meeting. In the event that a meeting is an in-person meeting, a director may participate in a meeting of the board or of a committee of the board virtually via telephone or electronic means that permit all participants to communicate adequately with each other during the meeting. The director participating electronically must be present for the duration of the meeting unless specific permission for a limited presence is recorded for that meeting. Directors are responsible for ensuring that virtual calls, meetings are held in a secure and confidential environment. So basically, we want everyone to be there for the entire meeting. Now, if something has come up and you're not able to be there, you can only be there for part of the meeting, then in advance, the board member would let us know and we could discuss it and accept it and say, yes, that's fine. You can be there for part of it and it'll be marked as a permanent thing, because the number of meetings you attend does have an effect on how you are a member of the meeting, of the board. You have to be in attendance at certain meetings in order for you to maintain your position with the board. And then the one notification that we've added there, when you're having a meeting, it's got to be in a place where no one else can hear you. You can't be sitting in a restaurant or a coffee shop or out in the park somewhere where other people can hear you. It's got to be in a private place, such as the comfort of your homes or sitting in your car, which I've seen some people do virtual meetings that way as well. So those are basically the changes that we've made. I'd like to put forward a motion that we accept the changes as they've been presented this evening.
I second the motion.
Thank you, Donna. That's all I have for this evening. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Antoinette. Great job as usual.
And now we're ready. It's as if you don't want us.
Oh, I haven't seen you. I thought you disappeared. I think
No.
The ED is MIA. Let's see.
That's right.
So welcome, Kami Jacob and Sima Kahan, two fabulous lady for Delta support. A lot of support to Delta.
But before we begin, as you were saying, Alita, a picture speak 1,000 words. So we're going to ask Andre to give, because a lot of people don't understand the scope of programming at Delta Family. So again, Renee has put together a wonderful carousel of our programs. So I'm going to ask Andre to put it together. But while we do that, I'm just going to ask board members to kind of just put on their faces and say hello, so that at least we have over nearly 100 people. So just so that people can see the board members. So please put on your cameras and just wave your hands so people can see who our board is, members of our board. Not seen too many yet. Okay. Okay, there's Joanne, there's Donna, Chesley. All right, there's Dasha.
Where is Chesley? Where is Chesley? I was looking for him.
He's down on the other side. Yeah, okay. And I also want to take this opportunity to call out our staff, our wonderful staff who care so much for the community and really are the foundation on which Delta is built. So anyone who's a staff person, let's see your face and wave so that people can see who you are. Just a little face, and Leonice, I'm not seeing you. Ahmed, I'm not seeing you. Just show your camera. Let people see the faces of Delta, please.
Hello.
Just for a minute and just shake. Yeah, just do a little wave.
Hi, everyone.
Ahmed,
Hello,
hi,
everyone.
thank you.
Good to see you all. And it's great to work with Delta. Proud to be a Delta family member.
I see Yolanda and everyone.
Likewise, always.
Jackie. Okay, great. All right, and there's Samantha. All right, good. Thank you very much. All right, Andre.
Resource Center, in partnership with For Youth Initiative, Somali Women and Children, Think Twice, and Urban Rest Solutions, would like to present to you the Ounce Prevention Program.
Thank you. Thank you. A huge hand for Renee and to all of the staff who work in all the programs. Very much. So, Seema.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Cami. So as the AGM draws to a close, we would be remiss if we did not talk about Delta's accomplishments in the last year and also what the future holds for Delta. But before I do that, I would like to say that it was great hearing testimonials from the clients who have benefited from Delta's services. And today we had more than 100 people attend the AGM, a testament to the meaningful work that is being done by Delta. Thank you everyone for attending today's AGM, which shows that what a difference Delta is making to the community that we serve. So 2020 was a year that saw significant growth in the local economic development programs offered by Delta, the Sewing Hub, pop-up sewing events, internship programs, scholarships, all the programs that we hope we can continue in the future as well. Some of the new programs that we've started in 2019 and 2020 and that you heard a lot about today was the Pampanzi or the Ounce of Prevention program, the counseling services, the Sewing Hub. These programs are important for Delta and the community that we serve, since they're focused on promoting mental health and wellness, which is one of the important strategic priorities for Delta. We continue to focus on supporting Black communities with our programs such as SNAP, Kujistahi, Pimpanzi, which demonstrate the success of our organization. Our other programs, which are also equally important since we relocated to the new space, are continuing, like our programs for seniors, which have expanded greatly in the last little while. We will shortly be beginning the process of strategic planning for 2021, and as we do that, we will be asking for your input and ideas on how we move forward and serve our communities better. I will now turn it over to Kemi to talk a little bit more about the virtual programming that has been taking place at Delta over the last several months. But before I do that, I would like to thank everyone for attending today's AGM and also conclude by saying stay safe, and I hope that this challenging time brings out the best in all of us, and together we continue to provide the much needed support to the vulnerable members of our communities. Thank you once again, and over to you, Kemi.
Thank you, Seema. And I will focus a bit on the present and the future. It's always a bit interesting to do our AGM for 2019 at the end of 2020. So it's kind of a foot in both doors. And so Seema has kind of looked at the past, I look at the present and the future. So, I mean, our keynote spoke about, and Cheryl, thank you so much for that. I already asked if you would give us the slides, because that was a wonderful presentation, and we'll probably put it on our YouTube channel and on our website, because it's really good information. And everyone, I'm going to ask Andre after to give you our YouTube channel, because it's a great place to go to get most of our programs have videos of things that they do, and the website always has up-to-date information. So after a short minute of paralysis, and probably more like a second of paralysis when COVID happened, we realized that we couldn't sit down. We needed to really meet the evolving needs of people who live in our communities. So whereas we used to have a food pantry 1 day a week in each of our, once in here at the main office, and once at our former office in Humber Summit, that didn't begin to address. So we formed new partnerships, and partnerships are really important. And I'd like to really acknowledge all our partner agencies who are here. I mean, Cheryl is from Black Creek, but we have many other partners who are here, and we thank them for coming and for the support that they give to us. So together, And the hub was a big part of this. We came together and expanded the food access program. Shola took her initiative, her little contact with North York Food Harvest, and had a little gig going with the seniors in Humber Summit. So really, at the height of our activities, we were basically distributing over 500 meals every week and feeding 500 families. And then we had to look at programming because the work people still had needs, and certainly all of us know how we're feeling. I mean, all of us in the office, we're tired, we're exhausted, our nerves are frazzled because it's been long. It's been a long, long summer and fall, and it looks as if it's going to be an even longer winter. So we needed to continue programs. So staff have been phenomenal. They basically have come up with videos and interactive ways of doing programs. So the Oz program, there's counseling. We actually now have a counseling department where if you're feeling down or you want to chat or you need to process something, you can connect with our counseling department. The FRP program, every day of the week, except Sundays. You can tune in, and parents and caregivers and children from 0 to 6 can participate in activities and learn parenting and just kind of not have to be with your child on your own for a time team. Kujistahi, which is a Black focus program, has amazing programs. There's Harambe, there is Kuji Kids. On every other Saturday, there's either Motivated Mamas, and they come together and talk about issues, and Black Dads group. So there's always something happening. We have our after-school programs, which are now offered virtually, and Vanessa and Shanique were the ones who are leading that with Sherwa. And we also have seniors programs. I mean, Juliette, who is not here today, she's on vacation, laughs and says that we should call it Delta Seniors Organization, because once we moved to this location, we had an increase in the number of seniors. And the seniors are lively and vibrant, and we love having them. So we have Zumba 3 days a week. Monday and Wednesday, we have Zumba at 11. And on Fridays, we have a meditation program. So basically, there won't be any tomorrow. So don't worry to tune in tomorrow. But basically, there's always something happening. And staff have been very creative about the ways in which they engage our communities. So be sure to check out our website regularly to find out what's happening. And the question which staff keeps asking and which community keeps asking is, when are we going to open? So what do you think the answer is? When are we going to open?
No one knows.
Exactly, no one knows. So not being able to open doesn't mean you can't have programs. The Sewing Hub, for example, has done many sewing sessions. They also had a special repair clinic. So you can do things, but you just have to do things differently. So we don't know when we're going to open. We're continuing to offer virtual programming. We are getting ready. So we're hoping that by mid-November, the office will be ready for people to come back, but we're looking at a phased approach. First, the office is going to be ready because staff have to be safe and you have to be safe when you come in. Then staff will come in and just make sure everything is in total. And then after that, we will have staff have one appointment a day. And before you do an appointment, you have to call. You will have to be screened. Basically, we have the one thermometer. We're getting some more to make sure that you don't have a temperature. So we'll actually have a very thorough screening process. So you will be safe and staff will be safe in terms of when you come into places. Then the next phase we'll have a few more appointments each day. And then the penultimate phase is when we can have small groups again. And of course, this is dependent on who? Who will decide? Duh. Public health. Basically, we have to listen to the professionals. The health professionals will tell us what we need to do. So it would be great to be able to tell you we're going to open on November 15th, but we don't have that information. And until it's safe for everyone, both for staff and for participants, we're not going to be opening. We'll be looking at a very modified opening process when we do. So we urge you to continue checking us out, to continue participating as you've been participating, and to continue to know that we're here for you, and we will continue to enjoy being part of your lives, and to thank you for allowing us to be part of yours. Thank you. Our MCs.
Thank you, Kemi. I would like to take this opportunity now to thank all our partners and officials, funders that attend our AGM today. Without you, it wouldn't be possible for us to be here. I'd like to take up for all the participants as well. All the participants from the different programs that attended tonight. The seniors, the cooking program, the sewing hub. As you guys are well aware, Cami said all the different programs, the old and new programs that Delta have offering. So with that conclude, we have some of the participants, the college, and so I think this concludes our AGM for tonight. I would like to thank everybody once again, as I said before.
Just want to turn it to the chair, to the president, for her to do a motion to close the meeting.
Oh,
Thank you,
okay.
Kemi.
Sorry. I was going to do that after. Thank you, Seema.
Okay, thank you. So I'd like to move a motion to adjourn this meeting. Can I have someone second the motion?
I second the motion.
I will second Joanne.
Okay, thank you very much everyone attending today's AGM. I think it was a very successful AGM. Thank you to all the staff and management for all the effort that went into preparing the AGM, and hoping Delta will be around for several years to come to provide all the meaningful services that we do. Enjoy the rest of the night, and thank you very much.
I'd like to say a special thank you to the board, because basically the board is our grounding in the community, and so we couldn't do this without the board of directors. So I'd like to thank them for their unwavering support always. Thank you.
Thanks,
Also, I'd like to thank Kemi for your leadership. I mean, it's always very meaningful for us. The way you guide us, it's really amazing. Whenever we call in the midnight, in the early morning, you are always there for us. Thank you very much, Kemi. We really appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
Very welcome.
She's 24/7 available for us.
Oh my God, she's amazing. She's amazing.
So
I
also,
don't know.
shout out to our admin too. Shout out Andre.
Yes, all our technical
Shout out
team.
for
Andre,
Renee.
thank you so much.
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thank you, Renee.
I would like to like to say we missed the
Redirect
snap
all of
team.
your praise. Redirect all of your praise to Renee, please. Thank you.
Okay.
And they sent the last email 2:30. I was woke up at that time. So thank you, Andre, for doing this. So,
thank you. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Quick administrative note, everyone.
Hopefully we'll get something together soon.
Yes.
But
Guys,
who knows when it's soon.
I'm coming to
Okay.
Lalita to
And
meet by
we will be
Huchuka.
posting the PowerPoint on COVID on our website.
Hey, guys,
Thank
everyone.
you. I'm a beep as well.
Just a quick note. Anyone who's on Election Buddy right now, following the votes, please submit now, because the voting will end at the end of the meeting. So just wanted to make sure to just submit your votes now if you have not yet. Okay? Thank you.
And thank you so much, aunties, for coming. We always enjoy. We couldn't see you much, but we always enjoy having you at the meeting.
Nice to see you, Lorna. As beautiful as always.
Yeah.
Nice seeing you too. Alita, good job. Good MC job.
See all of
Very
you
good.
guys.
That was the last. That was the last call for
Thank
voting
you,
for the members.
Kakuna.
Nobody wants to leave now. Everybody wants to sleep.
This always
I
happens.
had a good host. I had a good partner to share with.
Thank you, Kemi. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks,
Good
Lalita.
night,
Bye,
Seema.
guys.
Good night, Seema.
Let's give it
Good
up for
night.
Delta
Good night, Ernie.
and the board.
Good night. Okay,
Without
Cynthia.
the board, this wouldn't be possible.
Okay, good night.
Good night.
Bye,
everyone.
Lalita. Thank you.
Good night,
You do a
Maggie.
great job.
Great seeing everyone here. Hi, Cynthia.
Bye, Seema.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, Chabani.
Hi, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
You can make a list with everybody's name and hold it up and say bye, everyone, and it's your name.
Oh, sorry. We maybe have a list, but I can't hold it up.
Not you, me.
Oh.